If your employee purchases something for the business with their own money and you record it wrong in QuickBooks Online, you can throw off your reports, miss deductions, and lose track of who you owe. In this video, I'll show you how to correctly record employee reimbursements for purchases and mileage in QuickBooks Online step by step. Let's say that your employee, Maria Gutierrez, purchased a set of pens for the office. She provided you with a receipt for $24.29. Even though Maria is an employee, we don't reimburse her through payroll or a generic account. The cleanest and most accurate way is to treat the reimbursement as accounts payable. To add Maria as a vendor, we'll click on All Apps and then Expenses and Bills and Vendors. Then we'll click on New Vendor. And then for first name, we have Maria, last name, Gutierrez. Because Maria already exists as an employee, we'll add her as a vendor with the V at the end. However, we're going to remove the V from how her name will appear when a check is printed, and then we'll save. We'll record the expense as a bill, so we'll click on the drop-down arrow and then select Bill. And here we have Maria Gutierrez as the vendor. The bill date will be the date on the receipt, which is November 22nd, and the payment terms will be based on the business's policy. In this case, the business reimburses employees within 15 days, so we'll select Net 15, and then the category is office supplies. The description is what was purchased, so this was pens, and the amount was $24.29. If the pens were purchased for a customer, we can select billable and then select the customer's name. However, this was a business expense, and then we'll attach the receipt. And here we have the Walmart receipt, and we'll open it, and then we'll save. If there was more than one expense category, then you could use 2 or more lines to split the expense. This is really common, especially for small purchases at big box stores. So in this example, let's change office supplies to $14.11. Then we're going to add another expense category, and this will be for advertising for $10.18. So we have our total of $24.29, which is split between 2 expense categories. We can run an accounts payable agent report to see who is owed money. So we'll click on Reports and then Standard Reports. And then we're going to search for Accounts Payable Aging Summary. Here we can see that we owe Maria $24.29, and it's showing that between 1 and 30 days have passed since the invoice's due date. The reimbursement is paid 10 days later on December 2nd. To record that, we'll click on Create and then Pay Bills. And we're going to use the Chase checking account. This was on December 2nd, and the check number was 105. And we'll select the open bill for Maria Gutierrez, and then we'll save and close. Here we can see the bill for $24.29 and a reimbursement to Maria for the same amount. Now when we run the Accounts Payable Aging Summary Report, we can see that there are no bills outstanding. Mileage reimbursements are one of the most commonly mishandled employee expenses, so let's walk through how to correctly record them in QuickBooks Online. Some employees use their personal vehicles for business purposes. In this case, the business uses the IRS's standard mileage reimbursement rate, which is 70 cents per mile as of 2025. The employee submitted the required documentation, which includes the date of travel, her odometer starting mileage, ending mileage, the total miles driven, and her travel purpose. We'll use the existing travel expense account and create a new service item called mileage reimbursement. We'll click on the gear icon and then Products and Services. Then we'll click New and select Service because this is a new service item. And the name will be Mileage Reimbursement. We're not selling this service to customers. We're purchasing this service from a vendor. For the purchase cost, we'll enter the cost that is paid per mile, which is 70 cents, and we're going to connect it to the expense account, Travel, and then save and close. Then we'll create a bill for Maria. So we'll click on Create and then Bill. And we'll select her as the vendor. The bill date was December 3rd. We have the term set for Net 15. We're going to clear out the previous category that was used by clicking on the trash can. And we're going to go down to the item details section. And we're going to use mileage reimbursement Maria drove a total of 34 miles, so we owe her $23.80, and then we'll save. Next, we'll issue the reimbursement by clicking on Create and then Pay Bills. Then we'll select the payment account, which is Chase Checking, and this was paid on December 6th. The check number was 106, and then we'll click on the bill and we'll save and close. The transactions show us the bill for the mileage for $23.80 and the reimbursement to Maria for the same amount. Recording employee reimbursements to the correct categories gives you clean financials, better insight into spending, and fewer problems at tax time. If you follow this process, you'll always know what was purchased, who is owed money, and whether reimbursements were handled correctly. And this process works whether the expense is $25 or $2,000. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more QuickBooks Online and bookkeeping tutorials.